How to Use Suffering as the Path to Enlightenment by Dodrupchen Jigme Tenpe Nima. Through relative truth, whenever we are harmed by sentient beings or anything else, if we make a habit out of perceiving only the suffering, then when even the smallest problem comes up, it will cause enormous anguish in our mind. This is because the nature of any perception or idea, be it happiness or sorrow, is to grow stronger and stronger the more we become accustomed to it. So as the strength of this pattern gradually builds up, before long, we'll find that just about everything we perceive becomes a cause for actually attracting unhappiness towards us, and happiness will never get a chance. If we do not realize that it all depends on the way in which mind develops this habit, and instead we put the blame on external objects and situations alone, the flames of suffering, negative karma, aggression, and so on will spread like wildfire without end. This is what is called all appearances arising as enemies. We should arrive at a very precise understanding that the whole reason why sentient beings in this degenerate age are plagued by so much suffering is because they have such feeble powers of discernment. So not to be hurt by the obstacles created by enemies, illness, or harmful influences does not mean to say that things like sickness can be driven away and that they will never occur again. Rather, it simply means that they will not be able to obstruct us from practicing on the path. In order for this to happen, we need, first, to get rid of the attitude of being entirely unwilling to face any suffering ourselves, and, second, to cultivate the attitude of actually being joyful when suffering arises. Dropping the attitude of being entirely unwilling to suffer, think about all the depression, anxiety, and irritation we put ourselves through by always seeing suffering as unfavorable, something to be avoided at all costs. Now, think about two things: how useless this is and how much trouble it causes. Go on reflecting on this repeatedly until you are absolutely convinced. Then say to yourself, from now on, whatever I have to suffer, I will never become anxious or irritated. Go over this again and again in your mind and summon all your courage and determination. First, let's look at how useless it is. If we can do something to solve a problem, then there is no need to worry or be unhappy about it. If we can't, then it doesn't help to worry or be unhappy about it either. Then, the enormous trouble involved. As long as we don't get anxious and irritated, then our strength of mind will enable us to bear even the hardest of sufferings easily. They'll feel as flimsy and insubstantial as cotton wool. But while we are dominated by anxiety, even the tiniest problem becomes extremely difficult to cope with, because we have the additional burden of mental discomfort and unhappiness. Imagine, for example, trying to get rid of desire and attachment for someone we find attractive, while continuing to dwell all the while on their attractive qualities. It would all be in vain. In just the same way, if we concentrate only on the pain brought by suffering, we'll never be able to develop endurance or the ability to bear it. So, as in the instructions called sealing the doors of the senses, don't latch onto all kinds of mind-made concepts about your suffering. Learn instead to leave the mind undisturbed in its own natural state. Bring the mind home, rest there, and let it find its own ground. A teaching like this should really be taught by the Kadampa masters, whose very lives enacted their saying, "No complaints when there's suffering, great renunciation when there's happiness." But if it's someone like me who explains it, then I'm sure that even my own tongue is going to get fed up and cringe with embarrassment. Still, with the sole aim of making one taste of all the worldly preoccupations my second nature, I, the old beggar Tenpe Nima, have written this, here in the forest of many birds. This edition was prepared especially for Lotsawa House by Adam Piercy, 2006, based on earlier versions by Rigpa Translations.